Hello, triumphant family. Welcome to another thrilling episode where we will be talking women's leadership, development, and change in the corporate world. My name is Okello Sharon Nagenjwa. In the realm of leadership, development, and change management in Uganda, JENNIPHER is a name that resonates with innovation, professionalism, and deep commitment to transformative practices. With over 21 years of extensive experience across government and private sectors, JENNIPHER has established herself as a respected leader and consultant, empowering organizations and individuals alike to harness their own potential and drive meaningful change. Her credentials as a certified John C. Maxwell Leadership Team Coach and a certified trainer for the International Finance Corporation, World Bank, underscore her expertise and dedication to fostering effective leadership. Hi, JENNIPHER.
Hi, Sharon.
So lovely to see you. I would say it's an honor.
Thank you very much, Sharon. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, I love to see women in powerful places.
Oh, wow.
And yet they're so underground.
Okay.
And not out there,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Because most of the time we see politicians in the leadership space, and then people forget that the corporate world is full of dynamics. So just a brief introduction about yourself.
Okay, so my name is JENNIPHER. I am proud to say my age. I'm 47 years old. Actually, this month, I'm making 48 years.
Good.
I guess by the time you say your age, it means you've achieved something you're proud of.
Yes,
so,
exactly.
So yeah, I'm making 48 years this year. I'm a mother of 4 boys.
Yeah.
I am married, been married for the last 21 years.
Girl. Okay.
Yeah, I know. So I think I qualify to be a singer, really.
Yeah, please.
So I've been
I'll
married
come for those services later.
to my best friend, really. I would like to say I've been married to my best friend for the last 21 years, and we're keeping it strong, keeping it going.
Okay.
Looking forward to the 25 celebrations. So I have 4 sons, and yes, I'm a mother of boys. And what else, really? I have siblings. My parents, Mr. and Mrs. Chalimpa, I want to believe did a very good job. So if I'm seated here, I know they'll be very proud of me sitting here and talking to someone like you. I believe they did a very good job. I have siblings. We are quite many, and I'm proud of that. I think some of the skills we learn from living in a big community is some of the things actually I've had to use in my life, in my career.
So tell me about this triumphant journey that brings us here today.
So, well, I went through school like any other person.
Yes.
I would like to say I was a good student. So upon at university, so we were lucky. So, of course, if I say my age, it means during university, when we'd finish school, we're lucky enough. So organizations would come and ask you to put in an application, and then you'd be like 3,000 people applying for a job. And of course, you pray and hope all goes well. So I was blessed to be among the finalists in my year who were employed by Uganda Revenue Authority, which I was able to serve for 16 years. I
won't go there.
No, don't go. But surprisingly, I never collected taxes. Usually I tell people, when I worked in URA, I never collected taxes. Why? Because I remember my dad, on the day I was going to start work, said, the only thing you have is your name. Says the only thing, yes, you're going to URA. We all knew URA then. I'm proud to say that it actually has changed so much. We are proud to say we worked with URA. Once upon a time, we wouldn't even want to say where you worked. So the only thing I remember my dad telling me, the only thing you'll ever have in this world is your name. So I remember him joking and saying, if the day they get you and put you in prison, I will never even come to see you. So when your dad is setting you off, and I think I was about 24, 25 years, and your dad is telling you all that. So for me, I took it to heart. And so of course, when I got deployed, the first thing I said, I don't want to go into operations because you know how it is. Even if you have all good intentions, something will
sway you.
So but then also I was also glad that when I think because of my personality, as soon as I went in, like somehow all my leaders that I was working with were saying, you're very good with people. You're very good with people. We're going to put you, front facing. And of course, at that time, front facing meant reception. or taxpayer services. And then for me, I was so happy, and people were like, really? Like, this is where you want to be, not in the field collecting taxes. But I love talking to people, I love helping people. And I think, like I said, when you grow up in a large family, it enables, and as one of the oldest, so you kind of, you're the babysitter, you're always
you're just automatically a people person.
Exactly. So you have to be a people person, because you have people expecting so much from you.
That's true.
So I think because of that, it enabled me to really embrace working with people. So when someone would say, that person is difficult, Sharon is a difficult client, I'll say, give them to me. I don't know, for some reason, I love the challenge of working with what you'd call a difficult person. So I think because of that, I never got a chance to work in operations to go and collect money and all that. So I think when the restructuring came, I was among that 12 people who actually probably never went through the restructuring. We kind of were.
You survived.
Yeah, not there's even, because all of us were told to reapply. But then I was blessed that at the time when we were doing that, I was in the what you call the taxpayer service, the front facing. So, and I guess I had done something good, because my name was among the people who were taken to work in the Commissioner General's office. Wow. Then there was a new department, Public and Corporate Affairs. So my boss was going to head it. Of course, they told him to pick his stuff. I was one of the few he picked. So so I thank God for that. And so my journey, of course, you know, as a working mother, I had all my children in URA, 4 boys. So you're a mother, you're a wife, you're a sister, you're everything.
So in URA is where you celebrated all your baby showers.
Yes. So I give credit to Uganda Revenue Authority, because at least they nurtured me. They allowed me to be a mother and allowed me to be a wife. 21 years now. Most of the skills I got are courtesy of the leaders I had who nurtured me and allowed me to thrive.
People don't leave URA.
I know. I usually tell this story. The day I told my mom, I told my parents, I was so excited. I was like, Mommy, I'm putting in my retirement. Because you see, in URA, once you work for 10 years plus in government, you can get voluntary retirement. So going out, how I left is a different story. But when I went and told my mom, I was so excited, because I told my husband, and my husband knew that I think I reached my cap point of like, you know, I'm not adding any value to the organization. And I needed to go and do something else. So he was so excited. I was like,
new challenges.
Exactly. He was like, I'll help you with the retirement letter. Resignation, not resignation, no.
The retirement
letter. So I went with to my parents, very excited. My dad was like, you know, like, as any parent, you're like, you're leaving. My mother was like, oh my, she even cried. She's like, what is wrong?
Like, who does this?
So who does this? Of course, you get those second thoughts of saying, she's my mother. She knows better. But then you go home and then your spouse is like, I got you.
What you see, what a young person sees while standing, an older person will see while seated.
Exactly. So but then the thing is, when you have your spouse having your back, he said, you know what? For the time when you're going to be here figuring out what you want to do, I'll even pay you a salary. Of course,
girl, God bless supportive
exactly.
husbands.
So for me, I am one of those positive people who always looks at the positivity in stuff. And I think that's the one thing that should be able to give us joy. Because most times we think about, oh, this didn't go well. This is not good. But you know, I really would love to give credit where it's due. So my spouse, my husband David, said, you know what? I'm willing to pay you.
I'll pay you, please.
To sit home. Guys, how much do you want? How much do you want? I was like, okay, something like, you know, to buy my data, you know, the things like a girl needs. To do my hair. So he says, it's okay, I'll do that.
I'll sort you. I got you.
Yeah, so I think because of that, I got the courage to leave, despite the fact that my mom was so unsure.
Against it.
So I left. But then I also, of course, when you're telling your friends, they're like, you're leaving URA? Like, are you mad? Like,
who does that?
Someone told me, how much money do you have on your account? Like, it became such a joke. And I was like, you mean it's that? But like people, because you only leave to go to another job. So I'd seen most of my friends leaving, like URA, By then there was an exodus of people to UNRWA, to KCCA.
Yes.
Alan had gone to UNRWA, Jennifer had gone to KCCA. So everyone, for some reason,
There was like a transition. That was like a transition stage.
And everyone actually said, Jenny, we know.
You're going home, please.
I know. And then I'll tell them, they're like,
Jennifer, that's a very interesting story. We'll get back to it. I mean, it's just interesting that somebody lives something so juicy that everybody is yearning for, but just like life is, it's a journey, and there are moments when you have to transition to the next thing, and most of the times we are afraid of that transition, and yet that could be taking you to your next level. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back from that short break. For those who have just joined us, we're here with Jennifer, who decided to leave a juicy job, a URA job, to get back home to first just sit and just figure things out. Not to another job, by the way, to get back home and figure things out. Like, who does that? Only a woman who is brave enough for what is to come. So, Jennifer,
yes.
What was motivating you?
Yeah. Okay, so you see, you get to a level, and I still, credit goes back to URA. I remember the first day we joined URA. So Mrs. Allen Kajina was one of the people who was orienting us.
Yes.
And I remember the statement, probably she didn't even remember. She said, prepare to leave. Imagine your first day in URA, you're being oriented and someone tells you prepare to leave. I was like, what? You know, if you got a job in URA, everyone was like, this is it. This is the life.
Yes.
So she said prepare to leave, but you see, I think my dad always told me to think beyond the words.
Yes.
So of course she explained what she meant, you know, many people come here and want to die from me and want to become part of furniture. And I was like, I'm not like that. No, I shouldn't be like part of furniture. I remember she said, choose something like that. You don't want to be like part of furniture. Like you've been here, they say, oh yeah, Sharon has been here
for the longest
forever.
time.
So of course after that I kind of followed her and asked her what exactly, you know, like kind of, I hope I'm getting you right. So she said, yeah, you know, start preparing to leave, go do something else. Because I don't want to see you here 20 years later and you're in the same thing.
Yes.
So it struck a nerve, and I probably put it at the back of my mind. But from that day, I kind of said, I don't want to be 40 in URA.
Yes.
And I think I was about 25 or 24, I don't remember. But I said, before I'm 40, I'm not celebrating my 40th birthday in URA. I remember I said it really, you know, as a child, you know, you're thinking that. But every now and then when something would happen, when I would hit a milestone, I'd also go back to the thing and say, okay, so how old am I? You know, what's the time?
Yes.
So then what that did for me is I started now being intentional, working. So what would happen is I would then also avoid jobs that seem to have money, seem to be lucrative.
Yes.
So then I went for opportunities that seem to be beyond just the money. So I went to opportunities that had trainings, skilling, competences, challenges. So for me, where there was a challenge, I would say I'm here. Why? Because I wanted to learn, because I knew I didn't have so much time in URA. And I'm like, if I can make my own money, you know, doing my own hustle, it's sweeter than, you know,
than
taxpayer money.
Exactly.
Taxpayer money. So I guess then I would literally almost force myself to go and look for such challenges.
Wow.
You know, so really I think that's what really gave me the confidence to say, I think I can do this.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So now you've had all these trainings and what was that a preparation move?
Yes. And then I've also been blessed anyway. Like all my supervisors, honestly, I want to say I've had the best. You know, usually how you say you hate your bosses, I can tell you all my bosses are my friends up to now. So I would like to give shout outs to Belinda Komontale, Patrick Muchibi, Allen Kajina, of course. So these are some of the people who, like, every time I would say I need a challenge, they'll give me the challenge. They allowed me to thrive and prosper. And I think in the corporate world, that's one of the things that your bosses maybe are scared that you're going to take over or things like that. I never faced any of that. So I guess I picked up so many lessons because I knew when I went into my hustle, I had no excuse.
No, none at all.
And then the thing is, if you're the boss, everyone is looking up to you.
That's true.
So you're developing the culture of your organization. So then from there, I think because of the projects we're working with, so change management, it was something that was new. So we were getting taxpayers onto e-tax, the automated system,
Yes.
and that was another story for a day. But we were trained, we were certified as change management specialists. We were given all the training, and that's why I say for me, URA, I will forever be grateful.
Wow.
Because I'm earning now because
because
of
of
what
them.
I got from URA.
So now moving to what you're doing now, the
Yes.
consultancies. Let's talk about that a
Yes.
bit.
So when I was leaving URA, like I said, I was very intentional. So I set a date. I said June 2016, I'm leaving. Scary, but I said I am leaving. And I actually put in my
Resignation.
retirement letter.
Point
And
of
then,
correction.
yes, I put in my retirement letter. So when I did that, so then I said, okay, now what? So of course, luckily when I was working, I used to engage with Indians a lot, you know, business people.
Yeah.
So you'd say, you know what should I do? One of the Indians told me, you know, Ugandans, you have too many books. You can never manage, you never make money outside. I said, why? Because you guys who have had so many books, there's certain work that you can't do. I think that was also lesson number 2. I said, okay, so any work, you're looking for money, you can do as long as it doesn't break the law or doesn't break your values. So then when, of course, we had a hustle before. My husband and I had a hustle where entertainment, DJs. So my husband is a DJ.
Wow.
His passion. So I was managing the business around the time when I left. So I said, let me just get into this business. And
you see now, you and your husband are two opposite people.
Exactly. So what happened was, actually, I want to thank a friend of mine called Fuji Tumwesije and Solomon Tumwesije. So they introduced my husband to an organization called Business Network International. I was still employed. So he visited once and came and said, Jenny, I know where you're going to go when you're retired. I said, no, not those networking things. I don't do networking. I don't do these things. Because, you know, there had been a lot of pyramid schemes that had come through. So I said, Jenny, you know what? Just give it one visit. So after 8 months and a lot of cajoling, I visited. I walked into a room. Most of the people in there were former employees, corporate people I knew. I remember in there was Agri Hagonyera. I don't even remember other people, but also Fuji had been working with Ericsson, earning big money. And now she was a decorator. So you know what I mean? So I was like, okay, if she can do this, I can do this. So, but also the other reason why I also left, in 2010, I lost my sister in the Shadow bomb blasts. And it was a very rough time for us. But I think for me, what it did for me then is I kept thinking, why are we on earth? You know, like, because I kept saying that I am in this job. I like my job, but I would love to do something else. I said, if anything happened to me now, would I say I lived? I've done this 16 years, you know, by then I don't know how many years, 10 years probably. I was like, have I really lived? And then I think, okay, it also, the death really took a toll on us, my family, my mom, my dad, my sisters, because it was such a horrible thing, you know. And I think it kind of put me into a depression. So from the depression coming out, I realized I needed to support my mom, my dad. So out of those I said, but then you're employed. You know, your employer expects certain things from you. Then you're here dealing with your depression. So but then I said, if I had my own thing, then I would manage my own time. I would manage when I go to work, how I go to work, and the things that I do.
So what is your thing doing now? Okay,
so basically the company that now I started is because I was doing change management in URA, working with taxpayers and things like that. So I set up my own consultancy firm to also support organizations that are going through changes. So for example, if an organization is going through changes, so what's the first thing that employees do? They fear. They're like, oh, I'm going to lose my job. So my job is to come in and work with the management team to say, how do we ensure they adopt the changes that you're bringing? So that is through training, awareness, creating awareness, but also removing the fear. Because usually it's the fear of the unknown. I don't know what's coming up. So that is really what I do. And I've also been blessed that as soon as kind of I left, so I think, and maybe this is also just a tip for those who want to leave employment.
I was about to ask you, what message do you have for the women out
So when
there?
you're leaving, make sure you live well. You live your place well. Because I remember they threw a party for me and all those things, but also I had created a lot of very good relationships in there. So that even when I left, apparently the World Bank was looking for someone. I don't know, anyway, something, they were looking for someone to do some work, but someone who had government employment, who had been a government employee or had worked with government. and now was able to do change management. So that's how I got the world. My first gig was with the World
Wow,
Bank.
Jennifer, this has been a very interesting
Yes.
conversation. It would have gone longer, but time will not allow us. I hope you are all inspired. Those who are in employment, those who are planning on leaving employment, remember, she clearly stated, live well.
Yes.
Do not throw away that ladder. So don't forget to follow us on our socials at Girl from Uyam, UG, and at Triumph for Women, UG. My name is Okello Sharon Nagenjwa, and this is Triumph.